Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Unlock Tuesday live stream. I am Jessie Lang, and this is Lizzie, who's our Student Success Manager. If you guys don't know, Lizzie has been working with me for about a year now, more behind the scenes. This year, we've kind of had a goal to bring her more into the spotlight a little bit. So here's Lizzie. She's going to be my little guest sidekick on this. If you don't know me, like I said, Jessie Lang, I teach people to buy and manage long-term rentals. That is our Facebook group, our YouTube channel, wherever you are watching from. That is our goal with all this content that I put together for you. So I actually have a little surprise for everyone directly after. Surprise. Ooh. Directly after this at 3:00 Eastern, I am hosting a live workshop. It is not public like this, so it's registration only. Lizzie is going to drop the link in the chat in YouTube. It's already in the description, and we'll put it on Facebook and Instagram as well. So wherever you're watching from, would love to have you on that workshop. I'm actually breaking down the exact method that I use to teach people to buy long-term rentals, right? And today we are going to be going over a case study. This is an exact deal that I bought. I own this. It happened, looking at dates, well under a year. I bought it under a year ago. It was kind of a long process. We'll talk about why, but I want to show you that these deals exist and they're current, and these are things that you can buy as well. So let's hop into it. Can you guys see my screen?
Let me see. I can see it.
Okay. Y'all let me know in the comments where you calling in from or where you watching from. Let me know if you can see this. Let me know if you can hear my dog being very loud behind me.
You'll definitely be able to hear mine.
Yeah. Dogs are crazy today. So just let me know where you're watching from. I see a bunch of people on, so I know you're here. Let's hop into it. This deal is on a street called Lechner, and it is a little 2-bed, 1-bath. It has a 1-car detached garage, 748 square feet.
She's little.
Everyone thinks you got to buy these, big old mansions, and that's not the case. Okay, can y'all see that? Perfect. That is not the case. You can find a very, very good rental with a cute little 2-bed, 1-bath. And so this one came from a wholesaler. We ended up paying them a $15,000 wholesale fee. Is nowhere near the highest wholesale fee I have made or I've earned myself. It's not nearly the highest I've ever paid someone. I paid the same wholesaler like $40K recently. So $15K wholesale fee, super modest. They did all the legwork. They negotiated the deal. And I just got to step in, right?
When you say you're paying a wholesale fee for like people who are not familiar with wholesaling, like, are you paying that on top of, like, how does that get paid?
How does that get paid? That's a great question. So when you're buying from a wholesaler, there's really 2 contracts that come into play. We call it the A to B. Woo, party. We call it the A to B contract and the B to C contract. In this scenario, A is the seller, B is the wholesaler, and C is you, the end buyer. Okay. So A to B, seller, wholesaler, they negotiate a purchase agreement. It's going to be at a certain price, say $100,000. Okay. And the wholesaler says, hey, I'm going to buy this property from you for $100,000. Well, if the wholesaler doesn't want to buy it themselves, they can go market that contract, not market the property, market the contract at a increased fee. So in this case, I paid a $15,000 wholesale fee. So say that they go out and they market the contract, the B to C contract, for $115,000. If that number works for me as C, as the end buyer, who cares? Cool, great. I don't care how much money the wholesaler made. And I will close on the contract. I'll step into B's position in the purchase agreement. So I close with the seller in exchange for a fee. The wholesaler did all the legwork. Cool.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense.
Yep. And so in this case, it wasn't those numbers, but I don't even remember what they had in contract for. I just know what I paid.
So you're not paying an additional fee out of pocket. It's built into the asking price.
Correct. It's built in, and then most hard money lenders or private money, they will cover a wholesale fee. So it's not something you have to come out of pocket for. It's just kind of included in your purchase price.
Got it.
And you'll see what the fee is on the HUD, but a lot of times the wholesaler won't even disclose it ahead of time, which is totally fine. I don't care how much they're making, truly, as long as the deal works for me.
Cool.
So I bought this one.
There's somebody just asking like, what market are you in that you're buying this deal?
Sorry, that would help. I am in Columbus, Ohio. So Columbus, Ohio, we buy about an hour radius around Columbus. The majority of my portfolio is within 270. It's kind of our outer loop. We have about 75 rentals, and 90% of those are inside 270.
Sweet.
Cool. So yes, Columbus, Ohio, Lechner Avenue, 43204 is the zip. It's just a cute little 2-bed, 1-bath. So the way this one came to me was make me an offer. Not my favorite situation, but you know what? I was like, hey, I'm going to run all my numbers. I'm going to make you the best offer I can. Lana says she's about to pay a $20K wholesale fee. Absolutely, dude, pay it all day long. The amount of work that a wholesaler puts in, I could do a whole different topic about that, but it's worth it if it's still a deal for you. So this one came to me and make me an offer. I ran my numbers. I made the offer. I don't love that. I kind of like having a starting point where we can negotiate from, but it was fine. I made an offer that genuinely worked for me. And one key thing that we need to know about this property is I bought this sight unseen. I bought this property without ever walking inside. My contractors didn't walk it. No one walked it. The reason that the seller was selling is because the tenants or the residents who were in place were not paying. They were not, they weren't participating in the lease or the sale whatsoever. So there was no way we could get inside. And so I, of course, factored that into my offer. I will say that I drove past the outside. You can tell a lot about a property from the exterior, from roof, windows, foundation. You can, of course, it's risky and it's not going to tell you everything, but you can see quite a bit. So went around the outside. It was really stinking cute. And we're like, okay, like if this is the outside, the inside's got to be decent, right? So I ran my numbers. If you're familiar with Mayo, maximum allowable offer, it's the after repair value times 0.75 or 0.7 if you're underwriting a little more conservative. I use 0.75. So in this case, I ran comparable sales. I knew it would be worth 160 once it's fixed up, times 0.75. And normally you would subtract repair costs to tell you the most you can pay. Well, I didn't know the repair cost. So I was just planning for kind of worst case scenario. And in this case, I was looking at about $60,000. That would be an entire cosmetic. I mean, we saw what it needed on the outside. Wasn't too bad. So that would be a full cosmetic, full mechanical, maybe something structural. But this would, and it's 700 square feet, right? 750. So this is like the worst case scenario. I underwrote with the worst case scenario. I made an offer of $60,000. Okay. I knew it would rent for $1,275. We're right at the 1% rule. If you're familiar, it's a rule of thumb. It's a heuristic. It is not a reason to move forward with an offer. You shouldn't buy just based on the 1% rule, but it does tell you, hey, is this property worth looking into further? So I made my offer at 60. They came back at 63.5. Perfect. I will buy this property sight unseen, planning for worst case scenario, with $63,500. So we move forward with that. On the buy side, I used a hard money lender. If you guys want access to my exact lenders that we have used for the past 60 something projects, I would be happy to connect you. Just comment wherever you are, comment lenders, and we will get that list over to you. We have a bunch of preferred lenders that we share with people. So comment lenders and we'll get that over. Even if you're on the replay, we can still get it to you later. So my lender covered 90% of the purchase price. They covered 100% of the rehab cost. And then the loan to value limitation, they will let me borrow up to 75% of the future appraised value, the after repair value. In that case, They would let me borrow $57,150 towards purchase, and up to $39,250. Sorry, let me do this. 39,250, and they would let me borrow up to 39,250 towards the renovation. So that's what I did. I maxed out the most that they would let me borrow. I paid 12% interest monthly. It's an interest only, typically is for hard money. Monthly, I added up all my closing costs just for this, and we're at 2452. And the reason this feels high for such a low purchase price is that I was actually covering the buyer's side, my side of closing, and the seller side of closing, which is super common when you're buying off market. Loan closing costs are $1,800. This particular lender is $1,200 flat plus a $600 appraisal. So we had that done. And then they charge 1 point. And the really cool thing about this particular lender is that they let you pay the point either at the sale or at the refi. So you don't have to pay it up front like most lenders would require.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, there's going to be a gap, a down payment. We call fund the gap. In this one, I just paid cash. I typically am always paying my down payments in cash, our own money, but you could also raise that money. So if you were to raise it, you would just fill in kind of a second loan position here from a private money lender, essentially. So I knew, well, let's get into the renovation. Actually, I already told you how much it cost. Dang it. I didn't want to tell you how much it cost. I want to show you the before pictures and then the after pictures. So some of these are just like stuff in the house, and I left these here. They're not about the house in particular, but I left these here because I want to highlight what types of properties you may be buying, right? These residents hadn't paid rent. They were not participating in the sale. They were not communicating. This is the garage. They were incredibly unhelpful through the whole thing. It took a long time. We bought it with the residents in place. It took a long time to get them out due to eviction, and we had to go all the way through a set out. And as you can see, we buy the house exactly as is. So everything you see here came with it. This all came with it. But
Fun.
Yeah, the great news is that this property was in really good condition. So I budgeted for up to $60K, and we only ended up using about 32. So it could go the other way. It could totally go the other way where you actually walk in and you're like, holy crap, this is bad. And I've had projects go that way also. But I'm just planning for worst case scenario. So honestly, like it's not bad. It's kind of a funky layout a little bit, which again,
it looks like it.
What?
It looks like a funky layout.
Yeah. The bedrooms, one's like off the living room and one's down a hallway. So, I mean, it's kind of nice if you have a home office or something like that. So I think I've gone around, but let's look at the after pictures. So this is the kind of funky little smaller office bedroom, but it's there. We do the same flooring, the same paint, the same kitchen cabinets, the same bath, the same shower. We still had a little touch-up paint there. We do the same project every single time.
Why is that? Also, I love the brick.
It's not real brick. It was already there, Lizzie. You can't really see it because these pictures aren't great.
It's so cute.
I know. And I have a reel about this. Here, look. I have a reel about this because so many new investors do way too much. You would take this down, you'd have drywall costs, you would have, all this stuff. Nope. All you got to do is paint it. It was in good condition. So why would I get rid of it?
And it looks so cute.
Yeah. I think the fridge is supposed to scoot over, and then there's going to be a shelf there, but there's a vent in the floor. So that probably could have moved over. But again, it's not that serious. So we have a new kitchen. We got to push some appliances back, but it's big, nice, open living room. We don't do carpet anywhere. New thermostat. We had all new HVAC. And that's the back. This is the back of the house, literally in a snowstorm. One car detached like this. I mean, this is what we saw prior to buying it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's cute. So that's kind of that's the before and after. And y'all, to get there, it cost $32,250. I think that's what it was. I'm so sorry. $39,250. And so what exactly
Still better than 60.
Do what?
Still better than 60.
Yeah, totally better than 60. So if we want to go through kind of what was included on this quote, I'd be happy to share this. We did have some change orders we can go through, but basically everything you see is broken down here by room and it's itemized. There's line items. So if you're getting quotes from a contractor and they're a lump sum or labor costs, material costs, that is a red flag to me, because it's going to be really hard if you have a draw schedule. If you're, calling for some of your rehab money from your lender in the middle of the project, how do they know between what's been done, how much it costs? Like, how do they know how much money to release? And y'all, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, it sounds like a different language, definitely hop on our the workshop this afternoon. I can break all this stuff down for you. So Lizzie dropped the link already. Join our workshop. Would love to show you exactly how we do this. So yeah, we always do like a keypad front lock. We do all the safety, all the function items. Like I said, it's all itemized. We did have some change orders, like a decent amount of change orders actually. So yeah, we had this was probably the biggest one, was a joist that needed to be replaced. But outside of that, it's like a couple $100 for, different things we needed. So this is our cost. And then where are we? So that's the $39,250. And let's keep going. Let's keep going down into the refi section. So it appraised for $163,000. My new lender is going to let me borrow 75% of the new appraised value. This one came in at 6.75, which is honestly great compared to the last 18 to 24 months. I'm pretty pleased. Lower closing costs because I am getting a discount on some title title insurance policies because I just closed it prior. You got to pay your lender. Of course, you always got to pay the lender. I had a 3-month seasoning and 1.1 DSCR limitation, which is somewhat complex. I'm not going to go into here, but it is something that we teach our students exactly how to do. This one rents for $1,275. Insurance is $100 a month, and taxes are $78 a month. Okay. Over here, there's some important dates. There's 3 dates on every project that are really, really important to know. So first is the date you bought it. Obviously, those are the dates that your lending interest starts. You have your occupancy date. Now, this is the date that, you're going to have some holding costs throughout the project that are coming out of your pocket. And that's because the property is vacant. But as soon as the property becomes occupied, then a lot of those holding costs stop. The cost doesn't stop, but your renter is now paying for your holding cost. So the occupancy date's important. And then, of course, last but not least is the refi date. And we just did this one like 2 weeks ago. So 3 dates, refi date stops everything. All your hard money interest, private money interest, all that stops. We also have some holding costs. $250 for utilities. That's kind of like a ballpark placeholder. And then $100 for insurance. And then I had my same property taxes. David asked, would love to have these spreadsheets. Absolutely. You should definitely come to the workshop today at 3:00. Lizzie's dropped the link to register for that. It's private. I will tell you exactly how you can get access to all of these. It's something that I work with students on a weekly, daily basis, and everyone has their own version, and you're going to become an expert in it. So, yeah, would be happy to share. So now we move down to the results section. My loan closing costs on the first loan, about $5,200 between my lender and my title cost. All in, I had about 12% down. My lender covered 88% of all of my purchase and my rehab. So this is $12K, about 12% down between the purchase and the rehab cost. it cost me $964 a month in interest-only payments. Total cost, because I did hold this one a little bit on the longer side due to having trouble getting possession of the property early on. So I paid about $8,000 in order to borrow 88% of the project. At the time of payoff, I had $104,000 due. And then let's keep going. I didn't have a second loan, but if you did, it would calculate here. My total carrying cost between taxes, insurance, interest-only payments, utilities, all that was about $1,400 a month. You do need to know that number. So in addition to the $12,000 I had out of pocket at purchase, I had another $11,000 between renovation, all the holding costs I just outlined. And again, I held this loan for longer than usual. Typically, we're 4 months in and out. So this was a bit longer stretch, and that's why this number is a little higher. But even with that, I'm all in. I went from buying this crappy little property that you see here to a nicely renovated unit with market rate tenants, aiming for little to no capital expenditures in the next 10 years because we did all the safety, we did all the function, we upgraded the systems, upgraded the mechanicals at the time of renovation. So all things considered, I'm in it for $119,000.
Nice.
Now, yeah, exactly. I'm skipping the DSCR for now, but essentially what you need to know is that the most the lender would let me borrow with $163,000 appraised value is $122,250. So that is what we did. That left me with $739 principal and interest. My taxes and insurance, obviously these are variable. They can and very likely will go up. Then a total mortgage of $970 a month. And remember, this rents for $1,275. So we'll get into the cash flow section. But essentially, at the time of refi, I'm getting $21,000 back in my pocket.
Nice.
I put 12 down. I put another 11 in holding costs throughout the project of the loan. But I'm getting that back. I'm getting it back at the time of refi. And all things considered, after the entire project, every single cost is accounted for, I bought this property for $464.
I'm going to close my computer.
Yeah, this was a really good one. It was a good one. We took a risk. Because I knew what I was looking for on the exterior. I knew how to plan for worst case scenario, and it paid off. So we bought this for $464 out of pocket. In addition to that, I forced $40,000 in in equity. I forced the value of this property $40,000. So it's my money. It's not my money today. It's my money that's tied up in a house. But if I were to sell or refinance again down the line, we can pull a lot of that out. So let's look at the ongoing. $1,275 comes in, $970 goes out on the mortgage. We also account for 5% repairs, 5% vacancies. If you've seen other calculators, you probably have seen also accounting for CapEx, capital expenditures. That's like if your furnace goes out. Well, this furnace isn't going to go out because it's brand new. And so we don't take money out for CapEx because I'm handling it prior to putting a tenant in place or renter resident in place. That said, if you did want to account for it, you absolutely could. It'd be another $64 off of, another 5%. So something you could do. All things considered, bought a house for $464 and it cash flows $177 a month. It's going to take me 2 months to get my money back. If this number, okay, I'm just going to do something like say that I ended up leaving $5,000 in the deal.
Not 50.
Say I left $5,000 in the deal. It's now going to take me 28 months or 2.5 years to get my money back, which still ask yourself, would I buy this property for $5,000 and I get all that money back in the next 2.5 years? I really hope the answer is yes. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully the answer is yes. Cash on cash return, since I have barely no money I have no money in the deal. If you end up doing, this is a pretty close to perfect BRRRR, but it wasn't the perfect BRRRR. It wasn't a cash out BRRRR. If this number was a negative number, like you're, yeah, I would have no money in the deal, none, not even $400, and my cash on cash return would go to infinity because I have no money. It's infinite returns. So 450% return. Yeah.
Darn.
Yeah, I'll take it. But that's going to be the S&P 500 any day. And so now I want to show you kind of, you may have a deal that as of day one, maybe it's not nearly as sexy as this. And a lot of our deals are not as sexy as this. This was definitely a good one. What I want to show you is how things can still change over time. And the beauty of owning real estate is the long-term benefits, right? If it was immediate and it was easy from day one, everyone would do it. You earn your stripes in real estate and you earn all of the benefits by holding. So I want to kind of highlight, day one, I created $40,000 in equity, $177 in cash flow. First couple years here are by the year, and then we jump in 5-year increments. So let's look at 10 years. If I'm increasing my rents annually by 3%,
which is nothing.
3%, it's nothing. Look up your local market, and I guarantee rents have been increasing faster than that. Even if, of course, since COVID, but even if you look at a 10, 15 year back, they're still increasing more than 3%, I would guess. This is property value increase. We also account for your taxes, your HOA, all of those increasing. So look what happens in year 10, $460 a month plus $115,000 in equity in just 10 years. It's crazy. 30 years, this baby's paid off. 30 years, it's a long time, but it's also not really that long. So, property's paid off, you're cash flowing, you pay your taxes, insurance, all that, but everything else is cash flow. You have $400,000 in equity because it's paid off. It's pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful. So y'all let me know in the comments, is this a deal that you would buy?
Yes. If anybody says no.
Well, it's not a cash out, Jesse, so I'm not going to buy it. I've heard that.
I think it's also like a lot of people would be like, no, because it only cash flow is 177.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what we're looking at here.
Yeah. Like, oh, I only buy for 500 cash flow. Cool. Well, I'll take this deal then from you and we'll enjoy my 100K in equity in the next 10 years.
Right.
Thank you so much. And you know what? You know who's buying this equity? It's not you. You're not paying the mortgage. Your resident is. So it's not even that I am paying this into the property. It's someone else's. It's literally money created out of thin air.
That's just madness.
Yeah. Y'all let us know what questions you have. Are there any from Instagram?
Nope. There were a couple people who wanted the lenders and the invite for this afternoon, but I already sent them.
Okay, sweet. Okay, cool. Yeah, so if you want the spreadsheet, if you want lenders, we can send that to you. Spreadsheet, hop on the workshop. Even if you can't make 3 p.m. today, go ahead and register because we do send out the replay. So would love to have you on. Even if you're watching the replay of this and you want the replay of that, then you go ahead and register and we'll get that over as well. So that's it, y'all. This is the same deal that I would buy over and over and over. This method is how I have been able to scale my portfolio to what it is today. And it is exactly what I teach other people to do. So Lizzie just got her first BRRRR that she's
dead.
Yeah, she's about to refi, and then we're going to bring her on for a case study.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
A little nervous, but I'm excited.
Lizzie, why haven't you started your refi yet?
I just got a tenant in last week, which was exciting. So it took me a minute, but we were building our credit. So that was really the biggest thing is I wanted to get better rates. So
yeah. And now your credit's nice and sparkly and new and ready to go.
Ready to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
I'm ready to get my money back so I can buy another.
Exactly right. And that's exactly right. So how much, I don't want to spoil it, but how much do you have of your own money in that deal right now?
In the deal currently, it's like 14, I think, 15.
Okay. 14 in it, and you think you're going to get majority of that back?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. Yeah.
So our holding costs are pretty low.
Yeah. No spoilers, but we're going to bring Lizzie on and we're going to outline her exact deal in this too. And then she's going to get all that money back. She's going to go do it again and again, just like me and just like a bunch of our community. So like I said, we'll let you go, but this was a fun one and we will see you next week.
Woo!
See ya.